What's up, you guys? All right, well, here we are finishing the 6th consecutive green day. This is a nice little hot streak. Right, girl? We're doing well. Yeah, 6 green days in a row. She's my lucky charm. The last red day was the day that she wasn't in the office with me. So, well, looks like she's going to be by my side here for a while. I want to continue this hot streak. I'm hoping tomorrow can be the 7th green day. And even though right now I'm not, and this is kind of interesting. So, as a little bit of a side note, the longest hot streak I've had was, I believe, 56 consecutive green days, which was awesome. However, during that 56-day hot streak, I wasn't being particularly aggressive on my share size. I was being a little bit more conservative, and I was having days where if I was up $150, I would just stop trading. I was like, hey, it's a green day. Consistency is where it's at. As a result, during that 56-day period, I didn't make as much as I've made even in 5 or 7 day hot streaks because I wasn't being super aggressive. That's true right now. I'm not being super aggressive. I think it's easier to have nice hot streaks in some ways when you're not as aggressive, but I think the gains can suffer a little bit. So, it's kind of a toss-up in terms of which is better. From a purely financial standpoint, it might be better to come out swinging, and some days you hit it out of the park and other days you have a big miss, but at the end of the month you can make more money with those days that contribute to the big gains. However, that style of trading can also lend itself to getting more emotional, more frustrated. So when those P&L up and downs get bigger, so do the emotional up and downs. And I definitely noticed that for myself in March. I had in March $45,000 in losses at the beginning of the month. I made back 60 grand, and then the last 2 days I had another $11,000 or $6,000 red day, whatever it was. So it was a roller coaster, and I kind of told myself for April I want to get off that roller coaster and just try to be a little more consistent. And so here we are, 6 days in, and it's working. 6 days in, I've only made about $7,000. That might be as much as I'd make on one good day of, coming out swinging. But my biggest loss has only been, I don't know, maybe 500 or so. So maybe, I'll have to double check. But, right now, I'm feeling good. It's been 6 days since the last red day, so I'm feeling great. And I'm going to try to have another green day tomorrow. And of course, we've got a little bit of a short week. Good Friday. Markets close on Friday. But that's a great opportunity to study up. Trade on the simulator. Those that like TD Ameritrade has on demand, so you can replay market data and study the classes, study those live trading archives, and get ready because, of course, Monday morning will be here before you know it. So anyways, enjoy the recap today. As always, questions, comments, leave them down below. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos of June. She's, so here's the problem with her. She's a union actor. So we've got to pay her, a higher rate for being in these videos. And she's been, I'm not going to say like she's getting like a little bit of an ego around it, but she kind of is. And she's, been a little bit of a monster since she's gained this notoriety on YouTube. So give her the thumbs up, give her the subscription to the channel, but, at the same time, let's not let it go to her head, all right? So that's it for me today. We're back at it first thing tomorrow morning. See you guys in the morning. What's up, everyone? All right, so we're going to do midday market recap here, go over the trades from this morning. Today, 6th green day in a row, which is awesome. 6 consecutive green days. But today's the smallest green day of the last 6 days. It's actually the first day I've been up anything less than $1,000. So this is a good spot for me today to be, I'm happy to be walking away here and not continuing to trade because I knew that I had 3 losses in a row. And that was my cue to walk away. So I gave back a little profit today. I don't know how much I was up at the highs, but I would guess, well, this was $500 in losses right here. And then I had one loss on this trade here. So probably $600 in losses. So I was probably up like $950. And in this case, I actually gave back a little more than half of my day. Although, fortunately, not on any big losses. And realistically, today, the biggest winner was only $520. That was on MBRX, which was, and this flat top on MYO, I'll say, I like the idea of it, but I'm not going to be able to afford to take it because I don't have a cushion on the day. So MBRX was the first trade today, and this was on the watch list. So it's always nice when the watch list gives me my first winner and a nice clean win. MBRX gapping up 184% this morning. So that is a really big gap. The float, 30 million shares, already 74 million shares of volume today, which is really crazy. So on this one, I had a long bias right out of the gates, and I said, I'm looking at it for a break over the pre-market high. And what I said was that I was going to put an order at $1.70, and I might get in at $1.67, $1.68 if I started to see volume coming into the stock. My thought was that if we broke over $1.75, the $1.75, the pre-market high, then we should get a quick squeeze up towards $2. That was my thinking on it. And so my only problem was that I had already committed to trading only 6,000 shares. So on a stock like this, 6,000 shares, it's not a very big position, and it doesn't really allow me to be super, to really make a lot of money. 6,000 shares of a $1.75 stock, I only got $521 out of it. So let's look at that first trade here. So we're at 9:28 and 55 seconds. So let me just fast forward this here. All right, so here we're coming up to the bell. So here's the bell. And the spot that I'm watching is the first 5 minute candle to make a new high. And I'm thinking if we break over 70, we'll get a squeeze back up to the highs. So let's just watch this trade. So right there, as soon as it pops up, I'm in with 2,000 shares. I'm watching the bell to ring, and I'm looking for green. My hand's on the buy button. I see green there, lots of green, and I punch it right there. I'm in now at 69, looking for it to squeeze up to 75 and go into a circuit breaker halt. There's the halt at 75. I'm holding 6,000 shares, but I'm up 6 cents a share. It's like $300. It's not really all that exciting. It's then halted for 5 minutes. So let's see. Let's look for, here we go. Sorry. So coming up on the 5 minute halt, resumption. So for those that are not familiar, halt levels, the last print was 9:30 and 29 seconds. So the resumption should be 9:35 and 29 seconds to the penny, to the second. All right, so now I'm up on this $660, but it dips down for a second and I sell because I know that this, if it halts going down, is not good. And I knew that the halt levels would be pretty close together. So I take some profit out. I sell a little bit more up here, sell half. It doesn't break yet into the 90s. And then on this one, I said, you know what? I'm just going to set a stop on it at 75. And I ended up stopping out at 75. So you can see here how I don't know how much I've made. I know how much I'm up with the 750 shares I'm holding. And I know I'm probably up around $600, but I don't know because I have it hidden over on the side. So there it pops up, as you can see. I'm sure some people would have been tempted to add for the break of 2. I didn't go for that. I wanted to let it pull back a little bit more, and it ended up stopping me out when it came back down here. So I was like, whatever, small win. So that was kind of how I started my day, up, I guess probably only like $500. And as it turns out, 521. And then I took a few more trades. So let's see. Oops. All right. Yeah, let me make this a little bit. Okay. So these were the 2, 4, 6 stocks that I traded. MYO, I did take a couple trades on this earlier in the day. Nice for those that took that break of 40. Like it, but if I can't afford the risk, I can't take the trade. The trade that I took, we had a little micro pullback right here, and we had another break of 5 right here. So a couple little trades early, not a lot of profit. EFC had a break over $9 right here. As it turns out, small profit on it, but not that exciting. YGYI, a small win on this one, only $40. That was on this pullback right here. It didn't end up holding. MOXC, I was a little aggressive on this one. It opened from the second halt and it dipped down, and it looked like it kind of was pinned at 40 for a second, and I was like, oh, that looks like a dip, and then maybe a pop back up. I got in and then right away stopped out here before the halt. So lost 210 on that. And MRSN, I had one good trade on it right here, but I probably only made like $200. And then I got back in right up here for the break over 10, and I got stopped out. So my last 3 trades were MOXC, MRSN, and EFC, which I thought was a break even, maybe a loser. So that's 3 losers in a row, or 3 not very good trades in a row. And at that point, I was like, you know what? It's 10:30. We're not seeing really strong momentum today. Yesterday, we had some great action on YGYI, some great action on AKER, and we may see good action this afternoon, but again, I don't have a cushion to keep trading. It's more important for me to walk away green, and again, when you've made over $1 million trading, a day that you're up $350 can feel like nothing. It can feel like it's not even worth it. Like what's even the point? I can go ahead and take more trades. On the other hand, 400 a day is 100 grand a year. So taking that money when you have it and saying that this is a good indication that the market today just isn't really strong for those stocks that I was trading, or that my entries weren't really dialed in. And today's just a day to take that and walk away, and there's no reason to give it back. Might as well just put that money in my pocket. So that's what I'm doing. $350 in 1 hour of trading on a day that really was kind of, I guess, the slowest of the last week. But hopefully we see some good momentum Thursday, Friday. We can finish up this week with a couple more green days. Honestly, at this point, consistency is my focus. And so I think the profits will certainly follow as long as we have good momentum. Today we didn't have a lot of good momentum, and so I'm walking away. But if I can have another green day tomorrow, even if it is only $400, then that would be my 7th consecutive green day. Right. Let me see. NYSE market holidays 2020. We have Good Friday. I think the market is closed this Friday. Yeah. So 2020 Friday, April 10th, the market is closed. We've got a couple half days here and there, but actually the market is just totally closed on Friday. So tomorrow is our Friday, and then we get a little bit of a long weekend. So weekend is a good opportunity to study up, do the replay on TD Ameritrade's on demand if you want to replay the market a little bit and practice taking some of the trades that we had during the week. But yeah, so I guess that's where we're at. So FOMO Thursday, yeah. Usually FOMO Friday, but yeah, we're gonna have a short week this week, so that's fine. Tomorrow, I think, given that it'll be the last day of the week, my goal will just be to be green, not thinking about a dollar amount, just to try to take A quality setups where I feel I can have 90% likelihood of being profitable, and lock up the day probably by 10:15, hopefully with the 7th green day in a row. So right now, we're 6 days, trading days into April, and I haven't had a red day in April. I would really like to keep that up. It always feels good to, get some real space between you and the last red day. So right now I'm 6 days from that last red day, and I want to make it a 7th day tomorrow. All right, you guys, so that's it for me. Kind of a little bit of a slower day, but sometimes a day of rest is just what we need before a couple more days of big momentum. The most important thing is that when the market is slow, that you are mindful of that. You don't overstay your welcome. You take your profit off the table if you have some, and you're grateful for it. Today's a day where I could easily start over trading, because with one loss today, I could drop myself into the red. And then that's when I would start to get frustrated. So I'm gonna walk away before that happens. All right, so I'll see you guys all first thing tomorrow morning. Remember, today, 3 p.m. Eastern, Warrior Pro Mentor session. And we've got another one tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. So you guys who are Warrior Pro students can tune in for those. All right, that's it. See you guys in the morning. Hey, it's me again. The most popular video on day trading on YouTube was made by me. You can check it out below if you haven't already. And as always, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I personally respond to every question that's posted on my channel.